夏天的时光稍纵即逝，转眼间联赛就已只剩4周征程，每一场比赛都显得尤为重要。破壳之后是选择沉寂还是继续前行？低谷之后是甘于黯淡还是厚积薄发？从春天的辉煌到夏天的困局，留给他们的时间又还有多少？告别老伙计，继续前行，金色的雨会再次落下吗？孤独领跑联盟一整个夏天，谁能阻止涅槃后所向披靡的凤凰？2大豪门再战长安。
让上高400在这边破掉，别 stick 用大招规避掉了1Q，顺秒接拐，再一把精准的 W。
是捍卫荣耀，坚守主场，还是反客为主，上阵扬名？真正的好戏才正要开始。
Yet to come. Like summer nights, rain. I'm gonna dance, tell you my name. I'm on free. You should do the same. You talk about my day.
Well, we come alive again for another epic matchup. EDG, FPX, back in the Hongqiao Arena, where in Shanghai, the crowd has come out, a massive turnout for. And some of the most popular teams in the LPL, EDG, their fandom ever growing. There's a rich organization in the LPL, whereas FunPlus Phoenix, relatively new, but Doinb is the iconic player that people look at. And going up against Scout here today, why wouldn't you want to watch these two in action? As Jinoo in front of your screen just before, there's a new member, the solo lanes, strengthened by the ever-growing popularities. iBoy and Meiko is sitting, having a chill-out session. A quick look at Tain there as well. One of the stronger junglers in the LPL. Can literally go through it all. Look at LWX, you know. Have a look at the side of FPX as I welcome you back in a very strange manner. Hello, my name is Terex, joined by Clement, and you know, we're going into another matchup where there is a lot of expectation on junglers and solo lanes. Once again, Clement.
Yeah, this is a game where EDG really needs to shape themselves back into form. Recently, they've had a lot of turbulence. One of the worst series I've seen iBoy perform on against RNG. While FPX have been holding up pretty strong overall, just dropping that one match against Invictus Gaming, but so far so good. And I think this is a matchup, if EDG still want to go to Worlds, remember their streak has never been broken. At some point, they will have to face FPX. They will have to be able to prove that, hey, we can take down at least this team, and we deserve to be there. So this is a statement match coming from Edward.
Because, I mean, FPX right now, they're setting towards that first position once again, like they did in Spring. FPX are proving that they could be the strongest team here in the LPL. They look better than Spring, which I didn't think was possible. And picking up MVPs along the way in the side of LWX and Doinb. And the surprise here is that there's a lot of focus on this AD carry when Doinb's in the same team.
Yeah, LWX has been having an eye-opening year. We used to call him the shotgun player because a lot of times the recoil would knock your own teeth out. But this split, he's been dying a lot less. Only 1.9 deaths per game, fairly low for the AD carry mark, and his kills have been tremendous. In Spring Split, he took down, he had the most kills out of the entire split, and this time around, he's sitting at 133 kills. Once more, he has a great chance to actually catch up to historic figures right now. Most kills in a single split was taken by SMLZ in spring of 2018 with 260 kills. Now, that might be a little bit difficult from LWX because he is burdened by success. FPX actually don't play that many games in the Brio 3 system. That might be a little bit hard. He still has technically 50 potential games to play in the rest of the split, so that's a potential thing he can catch up to. But what I think LWX actually has a great chance to overtake is Uzi's record of 5.8 kills per game in the summer of 2016. He's currently sitting at 5.7 already with a string of multi-double-digit kills. His Caitlyn especially has been the standout, and if he manages to get that record online, he'll be sitting with guys like Death, like Mystic, like Rookie. His name will
Yeah.
forever be etched in the history books.
I mean, for LWX, like the solo carry, the potential that's come through this split is incredible. And we're seeing a lot of Lucian out of him, just like we are out of Uzi.
Yeah, they've been playing a lot of kill lanes. Lucian Yumi's been one of them, and the other one has been the Lux plus the Caitlyn. They have been the ones to really innovate in the LPL, and that has been super refreshing to see. Crisp and LWX playing together for a very, very long time, and every single split we see them come up with something new. It used to be the Kaisa and the Leona. This time around, they have even more kill lanes to run, and they've been so successful with it.
Because remember, this is the longest standing bottom lane duo in a premier region in League of Legends.
Yes.
So they have that title right now. LWX and Chris been together for so darn long. And you look at them and you say, okay, cool. What makes them special? And you're like, the synergy between LWX and Crisp, as you mentioned, is incredible. The way they play these lanes out now, with the focus from the jungle, from Tain and from Doinb, it's so hard to get out of that lane with a lead or even at an equal point.
Yeah, and this is not a lane that sits and waits for its jungler.
Yeah.
This is a lane that goes in and tries to kill you with the 2v2. The Caitlyn Lux lane is one I particularly like, and we've seen LWX go up just 5 kills in the lane because of the double stun duration and the ability to get that rolling. And also, with the FPX system, once Doinb joined the team, it no longer is just 2v2 and you're done. A lot of times is you have an early bruiser roaming into the bot lane, into the side lane for those tower dives as well. That's exactly how they beat Griffin in the Rift Rivals tournament, and that's what we've been seeing in LPL as well. It's a lot of 4v2 plays, a lot of side lane pressure, and dumping that onto a kill lane already just makes things even more dangerous for your opponent.
In the OMG series, what we saw is like a Crystal and Hood tried to counter that. We'll take the Lux and the Caitlyn lane. Then LWX and Chris went, okay, cool. Lucian Yumi. We have other kill lanes. It's not just this one narrow pathway of champions that they have to stick to. There is so much on the table which FPX can take advantage of, which is why this pick ban is really hard to kind of beat FPX at.
It is very difficult. They are known for being innovators, the entire team down. And one big one I want to see is that Kled come back.
Yes, great time to talk about it, Clement, as we introduce rosters back in Shanghai, FPX and EDG, and I'm hoping this is going to be better than the last series because RNG smashed LNG. It was our match of the week, and this one looks to deliver as well. Let's go to EDG's roster. Jinoo in the top lane, Jiejie in the jungle, Scout mid, iBoy and Meiko, your bottom lane with Coach Hart entering on the stage.
And this is a roster that looked very strong at the start of the split. Jiejie was a great replacement, has not needed them to swap Clear Love in just yet. However, after iBoy had a small hiatus and Hope was on the roster, I felt like EDG didn't get back into their prior form. We could listen into their mic checks as well, and there's been some confusion trying to get iBoy back online, fully performing. This would be a great showcase of their true potential if they could take down FPX.
If he can withstand the bottom lane we talked about, that starting top side, GimGoon's up there, you're going to go to Tain in the jungle, Doinb mid, LWX and Crisp are your bottom lane with Warhorse the coach.
So far, FPX have only dropped 3 games this entire split. 1 to LGD, as you do, and of course a 2 to Invictus Gaming, but it required a heroic performance from the Shy. And I would say FPX are personally my favorite team right now in the LPL because they play the cleanest game. You can see what they're doing. Everything stems from the draft phase. They get very strong picks that always have priority in the mid lane. We're talking about the Nautilus earlier on for Doinb, Renekton moving on, and this time around, a very high possibility that Kled will be back into the meta.
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second, Clement. I wanted to compare this team to RNG quickly. Not in style, but more so their standings. And we talked about RNG climbing up towards that mark. Well, FPX in a similar boat, 4 games in total lost.
Oh, so there's one more.
There's LGD and V5.
Oh, V5. Oh, my God.
So that was the 2-1 that FPX, of course, won. They've only lost to IG. But 4 in total. RNG are 3 games in total at the moment. And it just goes to show you that for FPX, it makes it so much harder for EDG to triumph over this team.
So looking at the stats, the key one here is their first tower win rate. 90% for EDG. If they get that bot lane rolling, they almost always lock it down. 86% for FPX, slightly lower, but you can see that first tower and that early mid-game tempo is what both teams are after.
I mean, average game time shows the tempo there as well. I actually looked, it's different from what I saw. I was looking at 29 minutes for FPX and EDG closely behind. So either way, it shows that these teams, their time is similar. The control around Baron, the neutral objectives is there too. The first turret win, I love that. It's become a new favorite stat because it just shows who's able to break the map first and how can they snowball a lead with EDG hitting the top of the LPL.
Yeah, if EDG get ahead, then they will stay ahead. That's what that stat shows you.
Yep.
On the other hand, for FPX, they also do a great job at controlling these Barons, 77.8%. That just goes to show you how far ahead they typically are when the blue-purple worm does spawn. And this is going to be a 10 highlight. First in GD at 15, first in kills plus assists at 15, taking over Karsa in that category, and first at gold at the end of the game as well. So he's just been statistically the best jungler this
But you know what I take away from this is the fact that the Olaf is there, but not to the success it's had all split long. Tain's Olaf is one that you cannot leave open, that teams have constantly banned against him, because with Crisp now jumping on champions like Yuumi, the Yuumi-Olaf combo has been utilized the best with FunPlus Phoenix.
And just looking at this stat line, if you convert his kills plus assists into the gold lead, they actually eclipse the gold lead. Well, what that means is that this guy doesn't farm a lot. He kills a lot of people, he farms your laners, and and he's been very successful at it.
Yeah, he has.
He's been finding a lot of his targets. So very high conversion rate in terms of his ganks into his kills, and you don't expect him to just go the standard routes, farm out his entire Krugs or stuff. He's going to be there waiting for you whenever a lane is pushed in. He's going to go there for the tower dive.
Which comes back to the point at how hard it is to shut down Tain, but also how these two junglers will be going head-to-head. Jiejie and Tain, the two best Olafs, maybe alongside Castle, we'll put him there in the conversation. Okay, then I got to put Ning in. There's so many good Olafs in the top 4 Olafs. 2 of them are in this game. There we go. Jiejie and Tain.
Jiejie for me is much more of the 1v1 style of jungler, plays a lot more of the Xin Zhao. So what I really see happening is Jiejie trying to track Tain around the map.
Yep.
Now for Tain, his style, much more gank focused. They play a lot of these situations where they're just trying to tower dive. Elise was his previously best champion and is still hot in the meta. So Renekton Elise, that's something that we could still see. TF Elise is one of...
Oh, yeah.
That's actually one of Warhorse's favorite compositions.
I mean, dark technology, right? That's what Doinb's known for, is it?
He used to say that, you know, like, if you give me TF Elise, I will punish your side lanes. Like, I will beat the early game. Like, that's invincible. So there's a lot of kill combinations that I'm looking to show up between Doinb and Tain. And I really don't think you can look at Tain and Doinb as 2 separate factors.
No.
They always roam around a lot. So that's kind of the difference between the EDG mid-jungle and the FPX mid-jungle.
Because this is what we started talking about, the mid-jungle, the duo for FPX. And now we're going to look at how EDG are going to interact with it, how this 2v2 develops, because this should be the series that we look at tonight. This should be the defining moment once again for another team like EDG. Let's go into game 1 and see that the Olaf is already banned.
Yeah, you have to take away the 1v1 potential from Jiejie. We've seen Jiejie blind flash over walls to get buffs, to get kills. He is a madman on that champion. No surprises there. And Corki is a champion that Scout was very well known for in the laning phase, but a champion that his fans have actually kind of grown to fear when it comes to the team fight.
That's true. But what is first pickable here for EDG, Clement? What do you pick against a team like FPX?
I think the way you have to think about the FPX matchup is how are you going to position your bot lane? Are you going to fight fire with fire and just take a stronger matchup?
Sure.
Or are you going to be more of the anti-dive side? What EDG are showing is, hey, you know, Tompkins, we know he's been nerfed, but he can still devour when he's under tower.
Anti-dive.
Let's do that.
Yeah. A safety net in that bottom lane to set up nice and early. But FPX, they'll still play that condition. They'll say, Tam Kench or no, we'll just kill him instead. Gragas, that's the first part of the dive. Clement, what is the second part?
The second part for me,
Yes, well, early. You wanted, hey, you mentioned as well,
look.
remember, at some point in this composition, there is the possibility that our 2 Kled players want to pick it up in here in game 1.
That is true, and you have to remember that Doinb recently had an entire split where he's never defeated on Jin.
Yeah.
Kled recently with the buff is he takes away 60% healing with a successful
Bear
Q.
trap on a rope, yeah.
And
Who
that's
thought
his
that was a good
shortest
idea?
cooldown. That's his shortest cooldown ability.
For
So it's
5
basically-
seconds?
Yes. Just the natural health regen on that, it's basically adding like 15 damage on it.
I mean, it was that, and I saw Pyke, what you told me about Pyke's your cut, and I thought, yep, great changes, 100%.
He gets 2 your cuts right now.
smoother gameplay. We'll talk about that later because I'm sure it'll come up.
EDG trying to snowball the mid
Yes.
jungle. This is the typical answer to FPX. You try to keep Tain and Doinb in check, make sure they can't roam around. So we should see EDG trying to gank very early on with this setup.
Oh, we do get to talk about it, Clement. Let's go into your cut when we get into game because I know there's a...
We've seen it on Reddit. People are not happy with the snowball potential.
There's a couple of questions from me, but what this does tell me is that Crisp is set up again for part of his condition. We have 2 great roaming supports in the LPL. One's Lumao from JDG. The other is Crisp.
And the question here for me is what does EDG actually pick in the bot side? I actually think they need to go for something like the Ezreal. The bot lane is so... It's so easy to just get randomly hooked. Like, just like the bone hook coming up from Pyke, and you find yourself in such a massive hole. So you have to play super safe in this bot side. And we see FPX also, curiously enough, banning away the Azir.
Yeah. They're sick of boring games, Clement. They don't want to see Azir or Corki. They're the team of the people.
I love you, FPX.
Yeah. Okay. Sivir banned away, though, so you're talking about safe bottom lanes. One of them would be the wave clear she provides.
Yep.
Second one you mentioned is Ezreal, so expectations now to see that is EDG. They're banning solo laners away. Renekton was one. Going to see the GP gone, so that means more possibility of seeing the Kled or the Yasuo, Clement.
It looks like Jinoo wants to play the counter role in the top side, so they're just taking away whatever's safe. Oh, but the Poppy comes back.
Yeah.
Recent buffs to Poppy. Now if she gets a stop with the Steadfast
If
on
someone dashes,
W, you actually ground them for another 2 seconds. So great against Aurelia. It's going to really prevent her from reaching the backline.
I mean, Sejuani as well. Like, and you don't want to pick an Ezreal now. You're going against a team that can stop you. Ezreal's not the option. More wave clear. The Ashe is there.
I like the Ashe.
Okay.
It has the wave clear potential, and also you want to play through mid lane anyway, so something with double globals in the bot side really facilitates that.
I saw your face change as you see the Cannon or the Nico. That seems to be the option here.
I prefer the Nico here.
I agree.
I think the Nico just has more crowd control, easier crowd control to hit.
Yeah.
The Cannon is more of a side lane split pusher with his build, with the Gunblade these days.
Has been changing up a little bit, though. We've seen differences. The Vladimir getting picked up here. That'll be a Jinoo champion, most likely.
Yeah, Vladimir's an interesting one. Now, it does have a great matchup against the Poppy, but it comes online a lot later. So you're not going to see a lot of action coming in from Jinoo.
Mordekaiser is disabled. So is Jason Talia.
Someone tell Warhorse that.
Someone please tell Warhorse this is not enabled. Yeah. They're like, hang on. Who else can 1v1?
What?
Pick a Jax. So what is going where? Is that a Poppy mid or a Jax mid?
I think it's a Jax top and Poppy mid. So Poppy does work very well into the Aurelia. This is such a Doinb pick. He played this at Rift Rivals last year against, I think it was Mad Team, and he demolished the lane.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. He played it against Yuki as well.
EDG, a lot better than Mad Team, of course. That's a shout out. Hey,
well,
if you don't get a win at Rift Rivals, I'm going to say that. But look, this time around against Scout, you're right. The interaction with Aurelia. I like this. And FPX are feeling pretty happy. Jack's top, Poppy mid.
This is so fun.
This is so FPX. But hey, I'm going to say this. There is a lot of AD damage. Of course, Gragas will fill in the void, but still a lot of AD damage coming through here from FPX in game 1.
I love the defensive pick that Doinb has actually selected here. A lot of times Poppy, not a great roamer, I would say. Doesn't actually have the movement speed, but against Aurelia, she's just so hard to kill. You can't dash onto her. You have to walk in and try to land the stun that way. and I don't think it's really possible to do it. And for EDG, their entire composition, their early mid game at the very least, is focused around snowballing the mid lane.
Yeah.
Aurelia plus Sejuani works well because Blade Surge actually does count as a melee attack, and you can put stacks on that way, but not against Poppy.
No, you cannot. And as you mentioned there before, you're going to be grounded if you try to use the Blade Surge in the Steadfast presence. So nice counter here from Doinb. Means that this lane's going to be difficult. One that FPX can play through and then head towards the bottom
It just
side.
makes ganking so much riskier because you can't flash out afterwards.
And look, we didn't get the Kled here in game 1, but we got a Jax. We got a Poppy mid. We got a strong bottom side here for FPX. One that is going to develop and play towards a classic win condition. Let's see the dives in action. Let's see game 1 between EDG and FPX as they jump on the Summoner's Rift. We're in Shanghai. We gotta get some crowd chants. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Stop talking over Doinb's wife. I'm not even sure it was LGD anymore.
OMG now? They've taken over the place?
Oh, my. The crowd is
that's great.
aggressive today, Clement, and makes sense. We've got ourselves an FPX comp in game 1. I'm heightened because the last series, let's be honest, it wasn't exciting for me. I saw RNG walk in, I saw RNG walk out. I saw a smile on Uzi's face because he wasn't challenged. This is a game or a series that I expect to be bloody, quicker, and maybe go the distance.
I really want to see how EDG is able to snowball this because a lot of their lanes are countered out. Now, talking about the runes that just flashed up, what I want to point attention to is the Lethal Temple onto the Ashe.
Yep.
A lot of times we've actually been seeing just the Comet being taken for lane dominance with the Triforce build, but this is favoring more of the on-hit. You'll see her use the Fury a little bit more.
Yep.
And for the other one, it would actually be the Graspy dying in the top side for Jax. Typically,
also
Conqueror
is
the answer for the Jax on this one. So he's looking for short trades and just to constantly be proccing those trades with the jump. So what I expect to see with this rune setup is you have to put a lot of jungle attention top lane.
Yeah.
Because this is not great in sustained trades. If you want to make use of this rune, what you're looking for is actually to just constantly just jump on them whenever your cooldown is off.
That's true.
Or else, if you're trying to kill them in one shot, you just go for the combo.
Because Grass is one of the few things that you can start proccing by the minion wave. So one of the things that are left here. As Doinb's also taking it, I mentioned it before, instead of the Aftershock Poppy, which we've seen if it's been support. Yeah, the Presence of Might, I mean, get your mana back. He's going to press W a lot here, Clement.
That one is special. I haven't seen people try to reduce the cooldown on Poppy's ultimate. It's not an ultimate that you use that much, so interesting selection here. I wonder what the thought process is.
Get your mana back, that's what. That's what you want to do. Doinb with the heroic charge early. Jiejie going to be walking through this. Brush not spotted, but Scout getting some early damage down. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the interaction here between the Poppy mid and Aurelia and stopping away the Blade Surge that Aurelia loves so much. And Doinb's a great player. We'll see it later in this game, but so far in the laning phase, keeping out on CS. He's up by a little bit. And the lane's very impactful here at this point. I'm going to transition you down to the bottom side now, Clement, because remember what we talked about, how FPX, they love to dive this bottom lane. LWX and Chris set up with a unique bottom lane duo that will have a bit of an advantage here in this early game.
This lane is just so snowbally. If it ever gets a lead, it will be completely out of control. The recent Pyke changes is if a target dies and Pyke gets only the assist, not the kill, then he's rewarded with 2 your cuts.
As long as he uses the ulti first.
Yes, if he uses the ultimate and he only gets an assist out of it, there's 2 cuts that goes his way, and each your cut is worth a kill gold.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I just need to ult and my assist is better than a kill.
Don't ask me why that change happened, but it's there.
Because if you get a kill with it, you get 1 your cut. So you get the same gold anyway, but plus in an assist, you get an assist. You know, like it's like, well, that's nice.
Yes, it's very, very
to your cut. That's like 600 gold.
It's pretty
ridiculous.
Damn insane. I don't actually understand why the change is needed, but,
Oh,
it
but
does
let's
allow
look in the
for
mid
very
lane.
good
Scout
snowball.
can't escape. There's the body slam into the barrel roll. And that's the problem with Scout. If he ever wants to make his exit as we look towards the bottom side, iBoy going to be devoured up, but they turn onto him. Ignites out, guns out, crisp out. That's the action I wanted to see. They turn.
Just my dad.
EDG turn. They get Chris finally, Clement. I'm in the series of a lifetime as LWX survives the tongue lash.
Yeah, Chris not able to get in the brush soon enough. He's stuck inside the minion wave, and double flash is not enough to kill iBoy. Overextension from the FPX bottom side.
And they pay for it dearly. First blood over to Meiko. And EDG get freedom in this lane. Look at FPX, so they're like, we're not having any of that. We gotta kill him. Teleports in from LWX. Stands in. Predator's there. Body slam. Good devour there from Meiko. And Doinb can't enter the lane. LWX underneath the turret. Almost takes a second turret shot. What is this? Doinb's here now.
And he's slowed down. He doesn't finish his teleport. He's gonna die here. Look at where Aurelia is.
I mean, Tongue Lash is not going to hit, so he survives for now. iBoy's still here. No mana on the bottom lane. Heroic charge into the wall. Christmas coming back in. Body slam. Yes. This is what I was waiting for. Chris, hook, line, and sinker. Scout jumps in, gets a great stun. There's the fake out edge. He hit level 6. LWX trying to fire from the back line. And Scout jumps on in. Look at Tain though. Re-engage body slam. Double knock up. Double kill set up. Doinb is so darn low. Jiejie just wants to kill, but he can't find it. iBoy watches on with terror as FPX. If you want to play that chaos game, they're down. They're dirty.
Oh boy, EDG had such a good look after that. They delayed so much time from FPX, and they had the collapse coming, but Meiko just went in too far, too fast. He doesn't get his gray shield down, gray health shield whatsoever, and dies during the CC chain.
Oh my god, 2 kills over to LWX. He just lost that lane, Clement.
Well, at least Pikes didn't have a 6 there.
Yeah. Could have been so much worse as this was a year ago.
This was a really good start to the fight. Unfortunately for them, I don't think he actually managed to stun. Great flash from iBoy.
Yeah.
And LWX doesn't find the extra auto attack either, so this was really well played, but right here, Meiko goes a bit too far forward, trying to close down on collapse. No great health shield coming up, and FPX outplay the heck out of this flank.
I mean, Scout got 6 first, but FPX still won.
Yeah, that was so well done on their part. Just look at them juggling the targets and getting the crowd control. If Scout was ever alive for just 2 seconds there to get the Blade Surge off, he could have get multiple resets and turned the fight. But that was 2 crowd control chain coming in from Tain, and then Doinb to lock it down.
Because remember, Steadfast Presence is at a flat cooldown and still wasn't up as top lane didn't care. You know, teleport was burned by GimGoon to get back into this lane, and they just ignored the whole play. So it was a pure 4-on-4, one that EDG have now lost. They've lost the early gold lead. FPX are invading this jungle. Tain is far ahead now, and Doinb is going to profit from it. Blue buff going to someone here.
That was very unfortunate from EDG. The trade just favored FPX way too much, and now they're going to bring it to the top side. This is one of the rare games we see FPX just all-inning on GimGoon most of the time.
Not yet, though, as Scout actually might be caught here in the mid lane against War. Heroic charge. Steadfast Presence used for speed as they flash on top of Scout. Christmas coming in as well, just for good measure. Here he comes. Take it. Give him some gold. He doesn't need to give a cut away. They've already cut deep into Scout.
I like how they were just trying to get Chris to get the execute and then generate more gold for the team. They weren't even thinking about how to secure the kill necessarily. Like whether they were going to secure the kill. It was just about how do we make maximum profit.
Here's the problem I see now, Clement. After things were looking good, after first blood went to Meiko, when LWX turned this around, it means now Chris can start roaming in this lane. It means that the rest of the map feels pretty no hoping for EDG.
No hopey. That's the first time I heard that word, but it does describe the situation quite well. Main problem for EDG is Aurelia can't do anything anymore. She's not going to be able to fight Poppy in lane. She's actually getting pushed in at this point. They have to get a gank to free up the Aurelia mid.
And I mean, look at top lane for a second. No, never mind. That's a Sunfire Cape by Doinb. He's had that for a minute. Poppy has got a Sunfire Cape.
Oh boy.
In the mid lane. Welcome to the LPL. I want to lay my hand out to the global audience here. Welcome to the LPL. You guys, oftentimes you watch LCK, and that's fair. Sometimes it's, you know, back and forth. But this is it. This is what peak League of Legends looks like. A Poppy mid with Sunfire Cape. and Illusion in the bottom lane who wants to go at it. And look, we got more fighting. Of course we do. GimGoon on the top side. My sales pitch interrupted as Hemoblade does absolutely nothing, but gives a bit of priority back to the old Vladimir. As, meanwhile, bottom lane, we're pitching up again.
The collapse onto a collapse.
Team coming in with body slam. The Bay Harbor Butcher ready to go again.
Really close, because Doinb did have the inner track over there. Jiejie backed out.
Scout's not here, so it would have been a 4 versus 3, but EDG survived for now. We go back to normality for about 5 seconds.
I really want to see how Jiejie plays this out. The mid lane gank is so risky, so maybe the better opportunity is... Oh, come on, he's under tower.
Mid lane gank is risky. Next minute we go mid. Cask, we have to kill him again.
I've already popped my Predator, might as well.
I may as well do it, right? It's like people out there going, ha, lol to the ult, but he's going to have it very shortly. So a bit of damage on the Scout, bit of pressure. Scuttle Crab top side. And now Tain's like, yeah, where am I going to go next?
I think the way Jiejie needs to play this out is actually to get a successful gank in the bot side.
I agree.
And then transition with the double globals there and try to free up Scout. Not a lot he can actually do in this mid lane. It's just way too far behind. I don't even think they could kill Doinb, even if they had like a 5 seconds lead before Tain could collapse.
Because at least in the bottom side, although Lucian's hard to lock down, Crisp will be roaming, so he'll be left alone in a lot of these situations. All you need to do is land that enchanted Crystal Arrow, and Jiejie can make something like a dive work. Level 6 Sejuani with Cinderhulk, the possibility's there, but he's towards the top side right now, hovering around the Rift Herald, making sure it's not getting taken, even moving into the lane that Jinoo has flash for.
Ooh, really interesting solving by EDG. So they're actually going to move Aurelia into a side lane, just take her away from the Poppy.
Okay.
She's been beaten down by the hammer enough.
It's a new Rift Herald, right? Everyone's moving up there, and GimGoon takes a blast cone. Might be a mistake here from the Jack's topsiders. He doesn't have his first item. He's not strong enough to take the fight himself, but he knows Scout is now here.
I love this change coming in from EDG, because that Jax is not going to be able to do much against the Aurelia with the first item being Executioner's Calling. That's a very Vladimir specific item.
He's got Merc Treads as well, so Aurelia's going to do full damage to this old Jax. And a lane that now they have Rift Herald on that top side while FPX aren't going to get much bottom. Look at this. FPX are rotating towards the top side. They'd rather take the fight than make a trade.
Can he get the stun? No, not in time.
Half a second too late there, Clement. And now, Teleport going to come in. FPX need to stop this play.
And they will do so quite easily. The full team is here in rotation.
Still some gold over, but we reset back to normality once again. Some gold clawed back here from EDG. That's my takeaway, is Jinoo now going to get 1v1'd by the anti-Vladimir Jax. GimGoon has the same level, but he gets the grass proc, and Jinoo can't heal too much.
Yeah, we've seen these trades happen over and over again, and the reason GimGoon's always jumping on him is he's got the grass, he wants that extra HP, he will win over time. And also, the cooldown is just shorter for the Counter-Strike there. So just trying to force every single opportunity he can.
All right, Clement, where does the game go from here? Because we've got, like I said, some normality for at least a couple of moments. We've got a 2-0-2 Poppy, 2-0 Lucian. First items completed across the board, really, for our 3 bits of focus.
I think the game is still very much in FPX's favor. Even though EDG swapped their lanes, FPX matched relatively soon, and they only lost 2 turret plating for it.
Oh, and Meiko's caught out under turret. Culling is available from LWX. They turn. The arrow lands on the top of Chris. Death from below. Doesn't land itself. Good flash here from Chris. He sends out the skewer. Oh, he gets the flash! Meiko flashes into it, but Chris doesn't matter. Does not matter. That was sick.
Oh, wow. Such perfect timing coming from him.
And Doinb now charging him. They don't know Scout's here. He flashes on top of iBoy. Gets the play to the Ruin King. Doinb's gone way too far. Mana too low. EDG turn for an easy kill on the mid laner. And iBoy might survive, but Doinb, for darn too long, he will. Human Plague used on LWX. FPX want to disengage.
They pull a lot of members from EDG towards the top side. FPX GimGoon's going to have a good time there. He's playing against no one. But unfortunately for Doinb, that was a lot of bounty gold being shifted over to Ash that needed it.
Show me the replay. I don't care about anything anymore. I'm not sure why, but that got me pumped.
That was pretty high.
That was sick. It was the instant he flashed as well, and you're like, Whew. That was sicker than Holder's absconder duck prediction, right?
Yeah, it was a really good play coming in from Crisp, and it was just scraped by Jiejie, 2 pixels away from Russell, and you find the Tomken underneath the pig.
Yeah. Good for EDG to trade it off. Now, in the gold lead, actually going to EDG this game.
They did take an extra tower there.
They got a lot of turret plating in that top side as well, so I'm curious to see the breakdown that we usually get on who got the most turret plating, because I'd say EDG wholehandedly. After the Rift Herald pushed topside, after Scout got some of it, the bottom lane got some of it, iBoy's caught back up, Scout almost towards the Trinity Force, so we get into a mid-game where EDG actually looking more even than they should be.
Yeah, FPX only got 1 turret plating in the bot side, and the rest of it, EDG was able to secure with the Herald.
Still looking for more picks as Chris might be caught out here, slowed on down, iBoy. Lethal tempo procs, but Doinb's coming in.
Now, the problem with FPX composition is as they go to the late game, they actually start lacking damage.
Yeah.
They don't really have that much late game potential with the Lucian and the Poppy. So EDG, this is one of the few games where if they can drag it out, play a slow tempo game, just play for 5v5
But I mean, will FPX let them? The Bone Skewer misses this time around. Scout gets a double flawless duet. And he survives. Crips has to hightail it out of there because that's the time Ken Scholl. Meiko cancelled. No, he's going to leave it for now.
Chris flying just yet.
Chris is just moving around this map. This is the issue for EDG. If they can't keep track of the pike, then Chris is going to surprise him. He's going to get these picks.
EDG want to hold it steady from here, and FPX, if they can get a snowball, we really want to see that double pure cut coming in from the pike ultimate. Hasn't happened just yet.
We've seen Chris bolt once, but it was a miss. It was well saved by Meiko. He's being set up once again. You talked about EDG wanting to slow it down. I said Chris is the key here alongside Tain. Jiejie in the brush, 3 versus 3 mid. Scout going to make that an unfair advantage. Doinb doesn't have TP to join.
This is Mountain Drake coming up.
As the prison lockdown on Chris. He's caught out. They tracked him so well they even killed it.
Way too ambitious coming in from Chris. They had Doinb coming up from the bottom lane, but they didn't respect the amount of crowd control EDG had.
And now we're in an unfair Baron, or rather Dragon here from Doinb, but he sends them away! Scout has to ult the Dragon stolen by FPX, but GimGoon comes in. The rest of them slowed down. Jinoo trying to hit as well, but the Ashe and the Sejuani can't get there in time.
I almost forgot Poppy could do that. That was a 3-man knockback to secure the Drake. Oh, wow.
Mountain Dragon for FPX. Now they'll lose their mid lane turret, but they get the objective, and they're going to trade turrets, what it looks like.
And I was wondering what Presence of Mind is for. Like, do you actually use Poppy Ultimate that much?
A lot of mana there. As we see the heroic charge, that's going to be the Flawless Duet. Scout going to be locked up against the wall. Can't dodge away. That's Blade Search for you. And Tain's still here. Scout wants to re-engage. Vanguard's edge on cooldown though.
Really big pickup for
28
Scout.
HP. Nice.
If that tower fell down and they could at least force the tempo and have that wave back.
Yeah.
Timbit's just being cheeky.
There it is. Scout even stops his back. He's like, wait, do I have to stop this? But he's too late.
Now that's a good tempo play coming in. So I don't like Chris popping his head hit. He clearly knows that they know he's here. I think the Tongue Lash was enough of a warning, but he still goes in anyway.
Tongue Lash, Glacial Prison. But this is the old I want to see, Clement. This is the one that matters.
All right, 4 people in the pit. Winding it up.
Oh, as he gets stunned as well, so he has to let go. And that's the direction he sends it.
That was picture perfect.
That was great. Had some pretty cool moments this game so far. And we're to a stale point. We're to a point where maybe not stale is the right word to use. Where EDG have a small gold lead, but it's not much. It's not enough. And we're getting towards the 20-minute mark with a 3-0-0 Lucian with 2 items. Serrated Dirk on the pike. The Poppy, who's almost towards the Righteous Glory, it looks like here for Doinb. His favorite item. I'm waiting for that Jax Trinity Force as well.
And what we should see happening further down the line is as Jax scales up, he's actually going to have a favorable matchup against the Vladimir and the Aurelia at the same time. Aurelia is very dependent on her auto attacks, and even though GimGoon did not itemize against that lane, he will still be able to control that lane as it goes later. So I think FPX still has a lot of the scaling cards they can play before the Poppy starts falling
But not
off.
as easily as executed as like the Vladimir Aurelia, right? As we've seen many times in the LPL, I mean, Vladimir's in the LPL, let's be honest, they're sick. And Jinoo is a sick top laner who will fall into that category very easily. Someone who, like GimGoon, is also up there. We've actually got two of the some of the best top laners here in this game. As we now get a bit more of that 1v1. Counter-Strike going to come out. It's a little bit early. Hema play down as well. GimGoon doesn't have the resist apart from the Merc Treads here. Health goes back to Jinoo. Jiejie's coming down. Look at the rest of EDG. They're ready to help get the engage and get that Enchanted Crystal Arrow on top laner.
This is an interesting maneuver coming in from EDG. They're basically saying that we have enough mobility on the map that even if Baron is undefended, we will still walk through your scuttle.
Yeah.
We'll be like, you know what, we're pinstering for this bot lane. We're coming.
I mean, GimGoon's just doing it again. They need to stop something. Jinoo without ultimate, he will lose.
Yeah, but FPX definitely win out on that. EDG, I feel like they pulled out after they realized that, you know what, if we go for this bottom lane dive, we're actually just going to lose Baron.
Yep.
We cannot fully commit to this one.
Trading sides when Mountain's coming up in 1 minute 20. If they can delay it long enough, it might be a good recovery here from EDG's last couple of minutes. Doinb going back towards the top side. Side lane getting shoved out. Bottom lane turret here for FPX is actually quite low. Now let me look. GimGoon doesn't have his teleport available. So there's always a risk if we do swap sides. GimGoon's still down there. That slower on the play. EDG could take advantage of that.
It's all going to be about setup for this next Drake double mountain on the menu.
Sure.
Just taking a look at what Doinb can do in the top side. He still has a favorable matchup here against the Aurelia.
So got Righteous Glorious now, by the way.
Yeah, he's going to be a scary teleport prospect.
Yeah.
And the one behind the red buff is the one I'm looking at. That ward is going to be very deadly if EDG get sandwiched.
But heading towards the top side where Mountain Dragon's up, this is why I alluded it to before, because we've often seen the trade-off for the Dragon when teams have the priority down. Just going straight out for the Baron play has worked in the past.
And FX definitely have the damage to do it.
Yeah.
At this point, the Lucian is... Wow. I was close.
As FPX walking in, Doinb, the arrow is actually dodged away from Glacial Prison onto the Poppy, but he hasn't taken any damage. Look, the AD carry sent away. Good night. FPX will take down Jiejie and EDG with the man disadvantage of Chris. Hema Plate onto 3 people.
He's dead.
Jinoo jumps in, dodges away from the body slam. The Vladimir has taken the health, takes a double before he goes down, and now Scout is reaping his reward. EDG have taken this fight. It's up to LWX to carry it back. He flashes over the wall. He might actually be able to do it. Doinb stops the blade surge. The phantom dance of EDG continues, and Scout even gets Doinb. That was so close, but a net win for the blue side.
2 for 4 for EDG, and they have a chance to pick up this next Drake, secure the entire Baron vision before they go back onto the map. A really cool opening from Doinb. He tanks four people and then knocks iBoy away from the fight. However, the follow-up from FPX was a bit perplexing. I felt like Chris did not need to go back. They had enough of a win where they could just safely secure the Drake, but walking back was a bit weird for me. Let's look at this start here. Doinb doesn't actually lose HP. He takes 2 ultimates, tanks the entire team, and then knocks away iBoy, and they get a kill. How much more do you need to win, Chris?
But then Jinoo hits a 3-man ult and does this.
That was really cool, and if you look at what happened here, it was unfortunate coordination from the rest of the team. Doinb knocks away the Vladimir as GimGoon is using his Counter-Strike, and they waste so many abilities just to get that kill. The rest of EDG, they're still around, so they take advantage and win the fight.
Really nice flash from LWX. Flashed as soon as he saw Scout, but Scout, Jinoo, that fight, they clean that one up, and now Doinb ults another 2.
1 for 2.
Yep, never mind. Jinoo's even here, but look, now we go into another 1v1 where Jinoo might have the advantage. But we're on tight tensions as, yep, that's what I saw. iBoy even joining the fight late after getting knocked away, still did the most damage.
The snowball is giving Chris brain freeze at this point. Like, we've seen so many chances where Chris could have played a little bit safer, and he's just like, I need that.
In a game where he gets that sick predict, where he gets that sick bone skewer. In that same game, I mean, he's been caught out multiple times. This hasn't been Chris' best performance. While LWX, I think, is still playing towards that limit.
Really trying to push things a bit too hard on his end.
You know, Crisp is known as a playmaking support who constantly roams and has helped players like Doinb in the past. This is a style that has worked for FPX considering how active and creative they are in their games. But this game so far, it's biting him in FPX. They're down in gold. They may have the advantage over Baron, but after EDG won that last fight, the confidence won't be there.
Oh, I really want to see this Baron start. Doinb can knock people away.
Oh, okay. EDG don't know. They're still in the mid lane. There's no vision here. FPX haven't been spotted out. They think they're just waiting around the brush. 4K. 3K.
It's
Look,
too late.
Scouts backing. They have no clue.
It's gone.
Sneaky, peeky FPX. You cheeky devils.
That was some very good acting from the entire
Oh,
team.
yeah.
Well done. A two-man Baron started, and then Lucian comes over the wall later. And throughout the entire time, if you look at the trinkets, EDG expended all of their trinkets. Chris scanning the rest of the team away from the Baron pit.
Oh, but now they're trying to find a pick. I mean, off the back of Baron, that's 2 ultimates used for nothing.
And I think this is going to be a great chance for FPX to force some of their engages. Doinb still with the teleport and the Righteous Glory.
Pushing through the mid lane with the Baron, but I can't believe they picked up that Baron, but EDG want to finally engage. Look at where Scout is. The flank here is going to be huge. Only 3 members there.
Jinoo's here.
Doinb is backing away. That's a good escape from FPX.
FPX played that very calm.
And Doinb still here.
Yeah. They didn't fold back and try to match.
Who are they ulting? Oh, they helped the AD carry. Doinb trying to run out and escape, get to the rest of his team. Righteous Glory popped here, the Permafrost down. They're going to send everything into him and the kitchen sink. Doinb's going to go down. Scout picks up his rampage and FPX don't care. They got Baron, they got the push mid.
Yeah, they just want to keep members here and make sure that GimGoon can do enough
Oh
damage
my
in the bot
god.
side.
That's a worth from Doinb.
Successful
still
1-3-1.
going.
The mantra of the 1-3-1 is if all 3 side lanes, if all 3 lanes are past river, you keep on pushing.
Yeah.
Someone dies, it's fine. You're still going to gain from it.
I mean, LWS is still mid. They're just playing with their food in EDG right now. After losing a member like Doinb with Baron buff, you go, wow, EDG, good pick. He's been called out, but FPX play it to the bluff.
It's quite fun from FPX seeing them play in this style. A lot of times we actually don't see FPX ever get to the late game where they need to do this type of side lane split pushing.
Yep.
Most of the time they're so far ahead, they just collapse, collapse, collapse. So this is just showing what FPX would look like when they have an even mid game. How would they stretch the game forward? It's actually quite rare. We haven't seen them in this situation.
Yeah, because they're always ahead. It's the quick games we talk about where they close out games. They're some of the fastest in the LPL. And against EDG, that's what we needed to see because, as you mentioned, here in this game 1, the Vladimir, the Aurelia, the scaling potential and the ease of execution here as we get into the late game falls, of course, in favor of EDG. And they're not that far out of gold, so for FPX, building that tempo again, building the advantage off the side lanes. That's what they're trying to do, and with Baron it makes it easier, but EDG are streamlining up mid with everyone invited. Even Jinoo's here on the Vladimir.
That was insanely disciplined from GimGoon. If you watch the map, GimGoon was constantly using his back, and he only started to walk out towards the wave until he saw 4 people.
Yeah.
He assumed that...
Oh, but no, what happened? Tia goes in.
Well, you praise 1 point on the map, the other points
apparently fails. Yeah.
It's caster first.
Very curious. They're backing from the side of EDG. Baron was there on the bottom side. He doesn't know where they're going. GimGoon might be in a bit of trouble here, but passing up towards the jungle while Dragon gets started.
Like, GimGoon was assuming that 2 people could be in that brush, and he only walked out until he saw 4.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of discipline being shown, but unfortunately, Tain goes a little bit too close. Oh, right around the corner.
Yeah.
That's a nice snipe.
That was really good. A Predator being procced, he wanted to force them off. Looked like a play was coming in from GimGoon. And that pickoff there was able to get EDG the mid-turret. Doinb actually starting to engage here. Gets the hammer all the way up into the air. Pop back by Chris. They're looking for iBoy. Death from below. It's double coin time, Clement. Look at that. He gets so much at the shutdown as GimGoon. He's teleported in to start the fight. Doinb against the wall. Meiko locked down. The FLICKR. Jinoo wants to keep the party going.
Unable to without Tain's initiation, so they do back off with the kill on iBoy, and Oh my god, that was so forced on their part. I can't believe that one actually worked.
Yeah.
Doinb just walks in with Righteous Glory. He doesn't even get the wall stun. And just follows up with the ultimate, still finds the kill anyway.
At the end of the day, Chris actually landing a Bone Skewer, I think, was a big part of it too, Clement. The first one I've seen from him, with Duskblade, the reset off the ulti. I fight that FPX win. A net win, meaning they go back to their side lanes, and we just keep doing this dance.
And nobody can deal with the Jax at this point. Already finished with the Spear of Shojin. I just remember how G2 Grabs is talking about his players thinking Spear of Shojin now builds out of tier. It's like,
Yes.
oh, why doesn't this
What's
transform? What?
So you get 15% back on mana every time you auto?
It doesn't work that way, but still great on Jax. Helicopter Jax, as we call it.
Yep.
This is going to be very annoying to deal with. EDG need to hard force the engages from now on. They have great burst potential.
Yep.
But they need to find their openings very well.
But like we said, there is ease of possibility with that, of course, with the Sejuani ulti, the Ashe ulti. There's a lot of this long-range pick that can start this off. And FPX get caught out. All it takes is one fight, and for EDG, they just turn this right back around as Baron's up in 20 seconds. That seems to be the next play.
Yeah, and EDG still don't have vision over this. They do have the Hawk Shot, so I want to see if they're going to be using that.
Jiejie going on the aggressive. Look at where Doinb is, though. Pixel Brush, Keeper's Verdict available. Hasn't been spotted out.
He's looking for
Meiko.
it.
Righteous Glory, not against the wall. He goes in. The Steadfast Presence still available. Jinoo joins the fight in GimGoon 2. FPX heading back towards the Baron. They're going to start it, what looks like, or at least look for the zone. Jinoo there, the culling gets sent out by LWX. Not a good position here as the Poppy ult misses. Maybe now it's okay. Tain comes in from the back end. GimGoon jumps in as well. The Jack starts spinning. The Vanguard's edge on 2. As into the backline. GimGoon keeps him busy. He gets the counter strike off. He takes the damage. The 2-man body slam as well. But iBoy has to be touched in the back end. iBoy, the death from below. It'll stop him in the end. But that gives EDG enough time to clean out FPX and get the ace.
Double Jinx emotes from the teams, and this is going to be the Baron down. Jinoo and Scout should be able to take this. Both of them really tanky, and Scout definitely has enough regen.
And it's these two again, Clement. I mean, last fight it was about Jinoo and Scout. This time around, they stay alive after iBoy just shreds through everyone who approaches him.
The key play for me right there was Meiko getting the Devour in time. Tain felt like he got the drop. He got the body slam and the stun onto Meiko, but Meiko still found the Devour in between those two abilities. iBoy was not knocked back, dealt enough damage to then win them the team fight.
The Baron comes to them afterwards. That was swift, and we get a bit of a breakdown of the start of this one from left rush to right rush.
This was a great start from LWX. You could see Scout also in a good position to make sure he doesn't get the damage down, but watch Meiko. Crucial Devour right there. Spits iBoy out in a safe position. They hold down the corridor. Doinb cannot find the damage or the slow. Has to go over the wall, and iBoy's untouched until Chris finally finds the damage onto it. And even then, he wasn't a clean kill. Still able to deal so much damage. And Scout, Jinoo, 3 damage carries from EDG. Just a bit too much for FPX to fully shut down.
Now that's almost a 5-item Ashe as well. iBoy towards that final item. That looks to be either a BT, GA would be a possibility here with Lifeline already on the Phantom Dancer, but that's right. iBoy, Scout, and mainly Jinoo in that last one.
This is what we were talking about, Doinb's playstyle. If you go towards the late game, a lot of times he doesn't have the firepower to contend with enemy traditional mid laners. Yeah. See in that fight, full 5v5, Doinb in it from minute 1, only does 1,000 damage.
Starting to get burnt down as well. We're getting to the point where you get to Conqueror and that percentage rakes up. It gets even worse. And FPX dealing with the composition now that EDG have set up that at 33 minutes is rough as GimGoon walks past a bit of vision. He has to be careful where he stands because FPX has started the Dragon.
FPX do want to start this as soon as possible. iBoy's flash is almost coming up.
Contesting for it. It will be taken by FPX. EDG send Jiejie in, who still has flash available. Doinb on top of him, though. The jungle's been caught out. Zed from below helps as well. Jinoo jumps in with a two-man Haven play. That might not be enough as he's keeping them busy. GimGoon jumps in on the other end. This from EDG is disconnected as GimGoon goes golden. Doinb now going to turn for the Vladimir. They destroy him. GimGoon flashes over the wall, and he survived for so long. iBoy dies too. Chris flashes in, forces one out of Meiko, and Doinb even TPs. FPX want this fight over, and they don't want to let anyone out alive.
The Catfish does make it back to base, but I don't think Scout is going to be that lucky. Are they going to chase? No, they're just going for the towers.
I mean, they got the Baron buff from the last play. That'll help him get out alive, but what do FPX get off the back of that big team fight, which almost turned into an ace?
EDG and FPX try to trade sides. They had a Vladimir with Pool and Zhonya's, and GimGoon still outlasted them. That's insane.
I mean, he didn't get the big Hema Plague, but he was in there. He got the sustain, and FPX, are they looking to end the game with the numbers advantage? 15 seconds, jumps on, Nexus turret 1 goes down. GimGoon doesn't get the counter-strike, but look at Scout on the backside. He's still alive, while Jiejie, the depth from the below, doesn't work. GimGoon is still alive. Kill the Jax! LWX gets the jungler, and FPX has the numbers advantage. Well, Doinb sends back some minions.
Jinoo's rushing out with the home guards, but he can't catch up. Tain with the slow should be able to give them a safe retreat.
Doinb's out alive. EDG spot him on his exit, but they don't want FPX to back here as Abyssal Voyage to cut off Chris. They'll know now it's just Meiko by himself to slow and buy time.
Meiko's actually fairly...
Enchanted Crystal though onto Tain. The tongue lash is there as well. Scout will get himself the False Duet. Chris is caught out as well. That's Tain going down. Now the Devour out from Meiko. Remember, moments ago the game looked like it was going to end, but EDG have very long death timers to now play with.
Well, the 3 tanks and the meat shields from EDG hold the fort down. They're able to survive here. Just watch this fight once again. I really want to focus on the top side because we were paying attention to the bottom. We thought that Vladimir was just dead, was gone for, but somehow GimGoon survives the punishment in a 1v3 situation. It's iBoy and Meiko plus Scout here, and they're unable to take down GimGoon. GimGoon gets the Zhonya's first, and then into a counter-strike. That's the second counter-strike he's already used in this team fight. He kills iBoy over the wall.
Yeah. Late game Jax, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god. I'm just so surprised that he was able to outlast in that situation. They were trading sides, and EDG came out for the worst.
Brought FPX into a almost game-closing play. Now they dropped at the end of that, but nothing was up on the map. EDG reset, got some vision down once again. And we still need one of those big team fights. We've had a couple so far. It's building up to the final one as bottom inhibitors exposed. And EDG can run it through mid with the proper wave management. So who sets up? Infernal Baron. That's where it'll be.
Bit questionable on EDG's previous Drake fight. Jiejie went in alone trying to secure the Drake. That one, I don't feel was very well coordinated with the rest of the team. And FPX, that gave FPX a very good opportunity to close down on that team fight. I felt like maybe if they wanted to do that, they should have orchestrated a full-on engage where the rest of EDG could join in on that. But they didn't actually hold the position down.
You're very confident after the last fight that came through, and Scout and Jinoo carried it through alongside iBoy, but when iBoy's left to the wayside, when Doinb's keeping him busy, you can see the disadvantage. You can see that the composition, when spread out that far by EDG, FPX love it. Like, that's what Doinb's made for, to keep people busy and GimGoon party from the back.
EDG, they definitely want a more unified front, so they can keep Ashe just firing the entire team fight, make sure that GimGoon can't stick to iBoy. That's their win condition in this fight. And for FPX, I feel like their composition allows them a little bit more creativity, where they can use the Gragas and they can use the Keeper's Verdict to kind of break open EDG's formation, and that's how they're going to try and play it.
Because if Jinoo gets a big ultimate, then that's another condition, right? But that's like the if. With EDG, the simpler execution method, as you mentioned there before, that's what we need to see. EDG and now unified. Doinb is spotted, but they send the ulti while Doinb keeps them busy in the unified composition. Jinoo comes in with the flank. They pull him back. They turn back around. FPX have the health bars to play around with. Jinoo gets ignited around. GimGoon over the wall onto iBoy. Cully comes out. Steps from below. Scout is jumping left and right and center onto Doinb. He presses W while LWX over the wall. Lucian wins. How does Lucian win late game? FPX have done it. This game is bonkers as iBoy runs back in.
Oh.
Sit down, milady.
Sit down, boy. You're not a man yet. The Penguin flashes out, and that was such a good keeper's verdict from Doinb. He actually knocks iBoy away. There was no way LWX should have won that trade. He was 1v2 against a Vladimir and a fed Ashe.
In 38 minutes as well. And now they're heading for the base. 10 seconds on Tom Kench, 10 seconds on Jiejie. Can FPX end this? I asked the question last time, but there's so much damage here. It looks like they can. In 40 minutes, one of the longest games for FPX, they take down EDG in game 1.
That was one of the most insane team fights we had the entire split. EDG with the drop onto Doinb in the gold lead over Baron Pit, but they can't fight the composition from FPX in that short corridor. You can see how much crowd control they were able to throw down there. Doinb stayed alive forever. He got his ultimate off. Perfect timing, knocking the Ashe back, and also the explosive cast on the entire team just gave so much time for FPX to deal damage. Oh, woohoo! Roller coaster of a game.
The biggest roller coaster I've ever been on. Tain did the most damage that game, Clement.
What?
Tain did the most damage. Out of anyone. Out of anyone on any team.
Morellonomicon Gragas.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that's a first.
he had a great showing, but it was a carry v carry game, wasn't it? That was just
And the entire time,
sensational.
it was between 5,000 gold. Neither team had a strong hold on the game until the very last team fight.
a team fight that I need to go back and look at because that was cluttered. It was the full 5-on-5 where we said EDG needed to stick together as a group, and they did. But Jinoo comes in with the flank, and for the Vladimir disrupted, Chris started landing his hooks.
Yeah, that was really cool. FPX actually had a very strong start of this game. The 3-for-1 in the bottom side. I thought FPX were just going to run away with it, but then the Dragon team fight happened where Chris went just a little step too far forward.
Yeah.
EDG get it back. They have the better scaling comp. You think they're in the driver's seat, and then it's just a hard force from Doinb. This is the magic of Doinb. With his dark technologies, people just don't know where the limit is.
That's true.
They don't understand. It's like, this guy's a mid lane mage. If we focus fire him, he should die, right? It's like, no. He does 1k damage in team fights, and he lives forever.
Yeah. I mean, seeing the Poppy out of the mid lane, that's his 13th champion this split.
Yeah, oh, that's insanely crazy. And people just forget that he has this counter pick. He actually played it quite a bit when he was on Rogue Wars and Aurelia was starting to show up, but I completely blanked. I was like, let's go top lane. Oh, wait a minute.
But, you know, also, because we set up that game, we're like, we're going to see the craziness of Kled. We didn't see Kled. We saw the craziness of Jax that game from GimGoon, who had an exceptional showing in game 1.
Really fun to see the Jax in the meta, and I always feel like he's been underutilized in the LPL because it's a pick that can go sideways, and if you don't snowball it properly, if you don't give it enough attention, it kind of dies in lane because you always have to jump in off cooldown. But this time around, he was able to, you know, get all his MR items. He actually had a very unique build. Executioner calling Triforce directly into
because the
another
Triforce was at 19
Megatron.
minutes. Like, it was later, of course, because it was the Mercury trade rush as well.
Yeah, so it was a very fun build coming in from him. And I felt like that was a fight where EDG just didn't understand what Doinb was going to do. Like how far Doinb was actually going to be able to push it. And frankly, I don't think many people understand.
You know, you old Doinb, you're like, okay, there's a Poppy looking for the flank. What do you do here? Instead of turning around the other side and like, let's just take the 4v5 for the next 3 seconds. It's like, let's run into Doinb. And that's always hard because Doinb like played the Poppy well, and
yeah, it was the Gwinsu's.
What does the champion do?
It was the Gwinsu's and Rage Blade build coming in. Not that, they're the same thing. Gwinsu's and Play the Ruin King build from iBoy.
Yep.
And that last Whisper passive only gives you 15% armor penetration.
Yep.
It's very hard to kill a Poppy just off 15%.
Yeah.
A lot of times you do need the actual last Whisper tree of items with the Lord.
Just while you're on iBoy as well, I will say it was a much better showing for him this game. Even though it was an EDG loss, I think iBoy filling out the role better, and I'm hoping that comes through in game 2 because that set me up so nicely. EDG and FPX is already set up nicely in this series. We're going to go to a break and then hopefully get more of that after this.